The Audi E-TRON is the new electric-only SUV built by Audi, providing incredible performance and luxury details with a powerful electric battery. Since electric SUVs are the hot new market for the auto industry, the e-tron is making waves as one of the most elegant and impressive models revealed so far from any manufacturer. In this video, we will tell you everything you need to know about the Audi e-tron. 10. Range is now improved. It goes without saying, but one of the key factors when it comes to buying a new electric car is the range. How far the car can go could be a make-or-break situation, and unfortunately, the e-tron always felt like it was lagging behind. When it debuted back in 2018, the top model e-tron had an estimated 204-mile range, but there's a pretty big improvement for the 2021 model year. The range now jumps from 204 to 222 miles on a single charge for the biggest battery pack available. While not the estimated 292 miles of the Jaguar I-Pace, it bests the Mercedes-Benz EQC by just 2 miles. 9. There's a suave sportback version. The sudden arrival of coupe crossovers has definitely proven to be controversial in the world of cars, but at least in the case of electric SUVs, it's completely justified. The teardrop shape is much more aerodynamic, and it helps increase the electric range. Audi, following on with the tradition of offering a sportback version of pretty much all their SUVs, has also added it to the e-tron family. It looks mostly the same, but the roofline slopes off, giving a more fastback look. While it definitely won't be for everyone, it should give you at least a couple more miles of range due to the aerodynamics. 8. Power and speed isn't everything. It seems like every new electric car that comes along is all about the horsepower and the 0 to 60 time. Some of them really are screaming fast, and while it does give you bragging rights, and the instant torque delivery from the motor or motors is very addicting, Audi has taken a different approach to this idea. That's why the most powerful e-tron 55 Quattro has only 355 horsepower and only 414 foot-pounds of torque. While that's way down when compared to the Tesla Model X Plaid's 1,000 plus horsepower, Audi reckons that the e-tron should be fast enough and not blisteringly fast. After all, 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds isn't exactly slow, especially for an SUV. If power and speed do concern you, however. 7. Don't worry, there is an S version. Once again, like almost all their other SUVs, Audi is offering a souped-up S version of both the regular e-tron and the Sportback. The S versions both sit slightly lower to the ground and feature some surprisingly subtle ground effects, as well as some unique alloy wheel designs. The power, meanwhile, jumps from 355 horsepower to a much meatier 496 horsepower and 596 foot-pounds of torque, which can jump to an earth-moving 718 foot-pounds when necessary. The air suspension is also slightly firmer to allow the S models to handle a little bit better. With all that, even with the e-tron's relatively porky weight figure, the 0 to 60 time drops a whole second to a pretty brisk 4.5 seconds. 6. Impressive charging capabilities. Like most other EVs, the e-tron offers a variety of battery pack sizes, with the biggest one boasting a pretty insane capacity of 95 kilowatt-hours. The pack itself has some really cool features, like even distribution of heat and coolings to keep it running as well as possible, but the most impressive thing is the charging. Although the e-tron can take just about any commercially available EV charger, it's purposely designed to charge at 150 kilowatt rapid chargers. Plug it into one of those and you'll have 80% juice in just 30 minutes. With tens of thousands of chargers spread throughout the country, it shouldn't be difficult to charge the e-tron rapidly. Audi offers a contract-based charging service for their fully electric cars. This gives you access to thousands of charging points across Europe, and you can choose a package that suits your driving habits the best. You will need your own Type 2 cable for this, but you can easily pick one of these up online. Alongside the charging service, you will also be able to use third-party charging stations that also feature a Type 2 connection. You may have to pay for services like this, though it is becoming increasingly common for businesses to offer this service for free. It will take around 30 minutes to reach 80% of your e-tron's capacity using a high-speed public charger like this, though this may be slower if the charger you use doesn't offer 150 kilowatt DC charging. You can also choose to charge your e-tron at home if you want to. This will require a dedicated charging unit, and these tend to be much slower than those found in business settings. For example, it will usually take around 7 hours for a full charge using a standard home charging unit. It will cost an average of 5.5p per mile in the UK if you choose to charge your e-tron at home. Great value compared to a conventional car. 5. Best-in-class aerodynamics. Aerodynamics are absolutely crucial when making an electric car, and making it breeze through the air effortlessly can have a great effect on the range. Audi took this very seriously, which is why the e-tron is one of the most aerodynamic SUVs ever made. Admittedly, the Tesla Model X is just a tiny bit better, but the e-tron's drag coefficient figure of just 0.30 CD is seriously impressive. Opt for the e-tron Sportback and this figure drops even more to just 0.28 CD. That means that the e-tron is more aerodynamic than a Koenigsegg Agera. 4. Cameras instead of mirrors, but there's a catch. They are a pretty costly option, but this is amazing forward-thinking tech. The e-tron is one of the first production cars in the world that offers cameras in place of the rearview mirrors. Not only are they high-tech, but they improve the drag coefficient as well. So what's the catch? Unfortunately, you can't have the camera mirrors in North America because such items are not yet federally legal. The cameras are available in overseas markets though, and instead of actual mirrors, there are little displays in the driver and passenger door panels that show a live feed of everything the camera sees. Really impressive stuff. 3. It looks and feels like a regular Audi. So many EVs are trying to show potential buyers how cool and futuristic they are, whether that would be the exterior or interior styling, or simply by some crazy feature that they offer, which can sometimes lead to catastrophic results. Ingolstadt didn't want to go this route with the e-tron, or indeed their range of EVs. To the untrained eye, the e-tron just looks like a regular Audi SUV, and even more so when you step inside. It's safe to assume that Audi did this so as to not intimidate customers who have never had experience with an EV before, to make the transition a little bit easier and to keep everything familiar. The e-tron seems all the better for it. 2. A RWD Audi? That might sound ridiculous, but that's exactly what the e-tron is most of the time. Every e-tron has dual asynchronous electric motors, one at each axle to drive the front or rear wheels. For most driving duties, only the rear electric motor provides propulsion, meaning that the e-tron is RWD for most of the time. In case something goes wrong or the front end detects a loss of grip, the front motor kicks in and provides some assistance, giving you temporary electric AWD. The rest of the time, however, it remains RWD. It's probably not possible to pull skids in, though. 1. Tech everywhere. It doesn't just apply to electric cars. Every new car has to be crammed full of the latest tech, especially luxury cars like the e-tron. No need to worry, as Audi has thrown just about everything they can into this big electric SUV. Step inside the e-tron, and you find 2 large displays replacing most of your center stack controls, as well as the usual Audi virtual cockpit behind the steering wheel. The screen houses Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, as well as a Wi-Fi hotspot. There's also a full suite of safety systems, including the usual adaptive cruise, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, auto emergency braking, and many more. As the last major feature to look at, it's time to look at the My Audi app. Developed to make life easier for drivers, this app gives you full control of your car, even when you aren't sat inside it. You can see the battery level and change the temperature inside your car, while also having access to the documentation that came with the vehicle. But it doesn't stop here. Alongside being able to monitor your car, you can also connect your phone to the e-tron while you are driving. This enables you to turn your in-car entertainment system into a direct duplicate of what you see on your phone. This feature is limited to ensure that you are safe, but it can make it much easier to use your phone without making your driving illegal or risky. Do let us know in the comments which features of this car you love the most. Thanks for watching.